Good morning, everyone. Dee from the Appreciation Business. I'm down here at the Transperth train station this morning with my eyes hanging out of my head after about 2 hours sleep last night. It's had a most amazing night at the health and wellness seminar in town. Just brilliant, just some brilliant people and just a brilliant platform. And one of my good friends, soon hopefully to be family, came down from Geraldton to spend the night with me. And I just really, really enjoyed the company. And we were talking about lots of things and lots of different bits and pieces. And one of the things I noticed the most when, from my history coming out of a life of abuse and addiction and those kind of things, just how lonely your life is, how isolated your life is, and just how crap you feel. Just how worthless and useless and totally undeserving of anything good in your life that you feel. And I've done a lot of work over the last 3 years to change that story for myself. And it was just really interesting to listen to somebody that's not quite as far along on the journey as I am, questioning why am I here? What is my purpose? Everything I do is crap. Everything I try is crap. And what is the point? What is my purpose? How do I start? And I was thinking about back to when I started, and I think starting is exactly that, is just taking a step or a toenail or a fingernail or something in the right direction. And really realizing that everything comes from inside us and internally. Yes, we've had things happen to us and things that have shaped our lives, but the beliefs and the thoughts and the stories that we have, they live inside our heads now. My abusive partner is not still in my life and hasn't been for more than 2 years, but I still have responses and reactions and feelings and thoughts that belong to that time of my life. Then it belonged to my future or where I'm heading in the future, but they just kind of pop up out of nowhere because you can't spend 20 years in abusive relationships or in whatever life it is for you. And for me, it was about that feeling of always wanting to be ugly and fat to protect myself so that nobody would like me, because I didn't like me. But I didn't realize that at the time. I thought other people didn't like me just because I'd stacked on a heap of weight and, I drank a lot and I smoked and I wore baggy suit pants and all the rest of it. But now that I'm part the way through my new life, my life after that life, my life now that started at 45, when I think about those things now, I think they weren't related to anybody else either. That was how I felt about myself, because there's plenty of people that are attracted to me and that talk to me and say, wow, you have such a lovely energy, or you have beautiful eyes, or you have a lovely smile, or nice dimples. And it has taken many years of practice to accept that and just say thank you. But people find you attractive at any rate. It's you that found yourself ugly. It's me that found myself ugly. I'm the one that, was fat. I'm the one that when I looked in the mirror, I'm the one that said I was fat. I'm the one that looked at that. And then to have that confirmed by my partner as well was just a perpetuating cycle. Yet if I lost weight and I was attractive now and I started attracting people wanting to talk to me or say nice things to me, then I wanted to run a million miles because that wasn't a safe place for me to be in. So when you're starting, don't be hard on yourself. Just be better than the person that you were yesterday. Just do one thing that's different that, that will help improve your life and will make the change that you want to see in your life. And so it might just start with choosing one thing to talk nicely to about yourself. And I've been thinking about money and talking about money quite a lot lately. So our conversation last night was around that. So let's just have a positive affirmation around money. Money comes easily and frequently. I don't need to believe that right now. I just need to replace the old story. So every time I think, oh my God, how am I going to make that happen? How am I going to do this? How am I going to be able to manage that? Where's the money coming from? I have no idea. I can just slap that out the way and go, you know what? Money comes easily and frequently. I'm prosperous in every way. I'm abundant. I live my life to the fullest. And you don't need to believe it. You just need to start with an affirmation that works for you. Because like I said the other day, you're giving yourself affirmations anyway, whether it's negative or positive. So you might as well change it. And do you need to know the way? No, you don't. You don't need to know all the answers. And it's not about being unreal or living in a fantasy world or not facing reality, because the reality is that I don't have any money and I'm not going to be able to pay for that. Well, if you believe that, then that will always be your reality, because in itself that's an affirmation. Whereas why not just believe that it comes easily and frequently and it's going to be there? Why not just believe that? You don't need to know how it's going to happen. You don't need to know where it's going to come from. You just need to believe that it's going to come. And if you don't truly believe when you start, just keep telling yourself, take the pressure off. Don't stress about it. Don't focus on it. Just keep telling yourself money comes easily and frequently. I'm going to have it when I need it. On that day, I'm going to have it. When that bill comes in, I'm going to have it. When I need to move house, a house will be there for me. It's just the way it is. So you just need to put out your intention of what you want, and every single day take a step or a toenail or a fingernail forwards. Just always keep moving forwards and compare yourself just to yourself. Are you better than the person that you were yesterday? And that could just be the tiniest, weeniest little bit better. Were you able to say one kind thing to yourself? Were you able to do one kind thing for somebody else? Were you able to get out of bed this morning? Were you able to get dressed? Did you go to work and feel good inside? Did you appreciate somebody? Did you look at your life and not think about all the old stories and the bad things that have happened to you just for a minute, just for 2 minutes? Did you spend 1 or 2 minutes just on yourself in silent meditation? Whatever it is, just be a little bit better than you were yesterday, and continue to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. And all of those little bits stack up on top of each other, and one day you'll turn around and you'll be amazingly different. And I think that was the big realization for me last night, because I quite often don't feel like I've made any progress. And it was just a really beautiful gift that was given to me last night to speak to somebody and to hear my story, to hear like how I was 2 or 3 years ago, not being able to believe that I could ever get out of it, not being able to believe that things could work for me, not being able to believe that good stuff could come to me, because how could it? Because everything in my life up to then had been crap. And even just dealing with that, because when you've lived with crap all your life, that becomes your normal. That becomes your environment where you almost feel safe and comfortable, because you understand how that world works. So when you first start talking nicely to yourself, and when things start working out for you, and when there's no dramas, and when people start noticing you, and when people start complimenting you, and when people say, wow, you inspire me, or gee, you look beautiful, or I love that dress, or your hair looks amazing, or you have the most beautiful eyes, or when those things happen, I just think, wow, how far have I come? Because that was me just 12 small months ago. And while I'm thankful to lots of people in my life that really started that process, my good friend Janet that used to come over every single day for what felt like more than 6-8 months to get me out of bed, to get me to have a shower, to get me dressed when I was right in the midst of, depression and drug abuse and all of those kind of things. I would never be here today. That lent me the money to be able to do my first self-development course, then to have an amazing woman called Nikki that really pushed and prodded me and poked all my buttons. But a man wouldn't have been able to talk to me like that. And she kind of really helped me to stand up for myself and to believe in myself and to make steps forwards in my life and to not live in fear. And then YWS, just Calvin and Julian and all the guys there, Jason, just them being able to be positive male role models in my life, because I had never had that. And now being opened and exposed to the fact that men can be nice, and there are nice men out there, and that I can talk to men, and that's okay. So all of these amazing people that I'm thankful for, and I realized last night just exactly how far I've gone and how far I've come, and I was hopefully able to make a difference in somebody else's life last night by the difference that was made in my life. And I really want to continue to do that into the future, because women, men, children, You know, we were born perfect. We were born special. We were born amazing. And then things happened in our life that, you know, that made us not feel that way anymore, that started us talking really negatively and really bad to ourselves. So I really like you to go back to believing and, you know, that you're just perfection, that you're just beautiful exactly as you are. Don't compare yourself to anybody else or anybody's journey. You know, oh, I haven't been through all that, or I've been through more than that, or my life's worse than yours. Your life is just what it is, and it means something different to everyone, and you can't judge somebody else's life just because they weren't physically beaten doesn't mean they weren't emotionally and financially tortured. You know, you never know what happens in somebody else's life and what path they've taken and what journey is theirs. So honour them and allow them to take their own journey and be there to support them. And I just feel the more and more that I grow, the more and more that this is my calling and this is where I'm meant to be, is helping to inspire and help women like me believe in themselves, trust in themselves, love themselves, and move back to the fact that we're just perfect exactly as we are. We're an amazing miracle of life. So every day, be better than you were yesterday, even if it's just by a millimetre. Speak kindly to yourself, do kind things for yourself, speak kindly to others, look after this amazing world that we live on. Please, please be kind to yourself today. Say just one nice thing to yourself today. Take your glasses off, look yourself in the eyes. I have to look myself in the eyes and say, I love you. I really love you. I love every single cell in this body. You are totally amazing, and I thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.